Hello viewers, well it's time for my weekly blog, my ramble about things happening in racing gaming this week and other stuff. So I thought I'd catch up and start off with the crew beta codes. Obviously we gave the crew beta codes out last week and I hope you're all enjoying those. Lots of people registered on the site. I want to thank all of those people. Also, lots of people said thank you and sent nice thank you messages. Really appreciate all of those messages. I do read them all, but I haven't had the chance to get back to all of you yet. It's been many hours filling out Excel sheets and getting these codes off to all of you. And I hope you've all enjoyed your run on the crew. I look forward to hearing your feedback. Please tell us on the site more about your feedback on the crew so far. Really appreciate it. Some of you have had codes which you couldn't get working, and then I've sent second codes to you which you couldn't get working. Well, I've had an official word today from Ubisoft. I'm going to take a look at that now. Actually, there is an issue whereby if you've installed a previous beta on your PS4, it won't work. So if you previously played and downloaded the crew beta, you will already have access to this beta. So if you've already downloaded it, you've got it already, and that's why your new codes weren't working. So I knew there was had to be a problem there somewhere with some of you. But I hope you've all appreciated it and enjoyed it. And as I say, we try to forward anything we can off to you guys. And that's a really big help with you all registering on the site. What do we want to do? We want to produce a community on the site. That's the main thing. So we have regular discussions. We can do written content and get your feedback besides just the video content as well. And not only that, we've got plans to grow the website in terms of other YouTubers, building a community, bringing people together, and it really helps us in the long term in terms of competitions, events, and just general community management, which is what we want to move into in terms of the racing content we provide. So hope you've all enjoyed that so far. The karting has been revealed on Project Cars as well. I've always been a fan of the karts, or the concept of the karts, but they've never really handled that well. I look forward to when they actually put the handling in and they don't just turn over or crash into each other in the first 2 seconds. I'll be getting on Project Cars very soon to see how that's progressing. Ubisoft have outlined the season pass for the crew as well. We'll see how that turns out, see how much longevity the title has, but certainly massive map, lots of opportunity there. My interview finally went up with Ralph Fulton on for Forza Horizon 2. It didn't get sent out to our YouTube subscribers, which was a shame. So unfortunately the views on that aren't quite what I would have liked, but it's one of those things. Elsewhere we've seen the continuing concept cars coming out for Gran Turismo. Interesting, it's they're putting them out there. I don't know how many people are actually interested in them. They're fun, they're a bit of a gimmick, but it does seem like I don't know where it's all going at the moment. I think 1 or 2 were interesting. It's kind of got a bit boring now. Besides that, of course, we've had the Grand Prix this weekend, mainly dominated by the news of the money again in Formula One not being sent out to the teams and or distributed fairly between the teams, should I say. And now we're talking about 3-car teams, and it's actually a question I put to people before. So here's a clip I recorded back in 2011 when I put that clip to put that question to some of the Badger GP fans. Let's take a look. So clearly a very mixed response from those guys as to whether 3 cars are going to work in a race. I haven't heard a system which is going to work at the moment. Bernie talking about the 3rd car being a different colour. Well, if a sponsor wants a red Ferrari, then they're going to want to sponsor a red Ferrari, not a blue one. So it depends on how it's going to work for everybody. If you're a pay driver, then you're going to say, well, if I'm going to give Formula One team X million to be in that team, I don't want to be in the B car, I want to be in the A car, or I'll take my money elsewhere. So bit of an interesting scenario, how it reflects. There was the idea in that clip of a new driver being in the 3rd car, rookie driver. That's a good opportunity, that would be good, that would work. But then you create a 2-tier championship, and the concept of customer cars, well, it's not really necessary. The rules just needed tweaking, and then we can keep the independent or privateer teams in there. which are dwindling all the time, and it'll be a great shame if we lose that, because highlighted before, to Mercedes, this is a branding exercise. The sport doesn't come first, the branding exercise does, and that's the issue there. On-track racing, though, good to see a little bit more action between Mercedes. There wasn't lots of overtaking, but they were pushing each other very hard. Lewis this time, the one making a mistake, cracking under pressure and unable to capitalise on it, cost him the victory with that spin. Meanwhile, there's a big debate about Jenson Button. Is he going to stay in Formula One? I would like him to stay. I think he's a fantastic driver. He's a world champion. He's had one chance to win a world championship with Rubens Barrichello as his teammate, and he beat him. A lot of drivers have many chances and never get there, and I think it just shows Jenson, every opportunity he's had, he's done a good job. And I think we've virtually double the points of his teammate this year. Really, the guy should still be in Formula One, and if he's not, it's quite sad for the sport. The sport is changing, isn't it? We're going to need younger and younger drivers, but we're also losing the experience and the personality of the older drivers. There's this feeling that you reach a certain age and you're too old and you've got to move on. But that just isn't the case now. And a lot of F1 drivers, if you go back 30 years, were in their 40s before they got to Formula One. And they're in that age because it required so much skill and experience to understand your car fully. You needed that road experience before you made it to Formula One, whereas now you don't really need to know your car. You just need to get in, listen to the data that they tell you. So from that regard, the driver just doesn't have enough control, doesn't need the experience, doesn't need to know where his brakes and his tyres are and what he needs to do at that time. An engineer will tell him and he does it. So there's that certain area of experience that's been lost. But either way, we're coming to the final race, double points next race. I'm sure lots of people will moan about it either way. I'm over it. It was discussed a year ago. It's always been double points. Let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to the excitement and the drama it creates as well. So Formula One will roll into 2015, and we don't have a clue how it's going to look, but we are looking forward to the game. Next year I am looking forward to F1 2015, the game. I haven't had much time for gaming this week because I've been working on the crew and deciding, structuring where VVV is going to go into the future. There's been a lot of changes on YouTube recently, and I'm learning a lot about YouTube and things that work and things that don't work, and deciding how I'm going to do my videos. One of the big changes for me was, obviously trying to make them more professional, getting the equipment, buying the microphones, and just trying to do a better job. On the other hand, people often like YouTube videos to be, just sort of more fly on the wall, sort of natural videos, which would mean poorer audio and, just not the same sort of production quality that I've been striving towards over the last couple of years. I suppose in a way what we need to go back to is a lot more gameplay videos on the channel and structuring the time to be able to do that. Very difficult. There's a lot of work going in behind the scenes on the website and really trying to get the website to where we want it to be as well. So I'm spreading myself across a number of things at the moment, and hopefully once we get through all that, these last 3 months really since Gamescom, I've been working on a lot of work behind the scenes to structure VVV into the future and bring together the partners we need to generate the funding we need to keep it rolling in the right direction as well, which is always a lot of hard work, but we're getting there. And I think that overall the website and the content on the website is improving all the time. But if you are looking to contribute to VVV, or if you have a YouTube channel that's of a reasonable size, do let me know, because right now we're looking to put together our first batch of YouTubers with their own page, and there'll be more on that. There'll be a video separately on that very soon. But that's me just having a little chat about this week's Formula One and motorsport news. I'm going to go back and what am I going to play? Bit of Assetto Corsa, I think, coming up this week. Bit of Project Cars, if I can get that working, and perhaps a bit more Formula One. It has been raised to me that there is a cheat in F1 2014 that basically ruins leagues everywhere, and I'm hoping to share that with you very soon, because it shows how wheel users have been at a massive disadvantage to pad users, and that's going to be hopefully discussed in a bit more detail on the channel very soon. It's probably been discussed elsewhere on YouTube, but whatever, we'll discuss it here as well. But that's it from me for now. That's my ramble, and there'll be more from me very soon.